In today's transfer news, Liverpool could reignite an old transfer target as a backup plan in case the Alexander Isak deal doesn't work out. We've got all the details for you right here on the channel. Good morning, everyone. I'm here with some breaking news coming from the Daily Mail. Now, Liverpool are set to challenge Newcastle once again for the signature of one of their long-term transfer targets, Bradley Barcola. So, it looks like if Liverpool can't get Alexander Isak, then they're gonna go back in for one of their long-term targets in Bradley Barcola. Now, I've been saying it all week that this deal was by no means done. Even though there's been reports from the player's agent, from the player himself, and even from Eddie Howe saying that he was going to be joining Liverpool, if you listen to what I've been saying, I've said it's not done yet. There's still a lot of work to do. And in fact, last Friday, I said that there were still stumbling blocks in this deal. Well, it looks like those stumbling blocks are really starting to show themselves. According to the report in the Mail, Liverpool have hit something of a brick wall in their attempts to sign the 25-year-old. What they're finding is that Newcastle are playing hardball over the price of their star striker. That's because Newcastle are now playing Champions League football next season, and they've made it clear that they don't want to lose their top scorer. Apparently, they value Isak at closer to £150 million rather than the £85 million that Liverpool are willing to pay, and that is causing something of a stumbling block in these negotiations. If Liverpool can't agree a fee with Newcastle, it seems they will turn their attention to the French international Bradley Barcola. They've been tracking the 22-year-old for quite some time now. In fact, he was a target last summer before he moved to Paris Saint-Germain, and it seems that Liverpool never quite gave up hope of signing the Frenchman. According to the report in the Mail, they're still keen on him, and they see him as a potential alternative to Isak. So, what would you make of that? Would you prefer Liverpool to sign Bradley Barcola or stick with the pursuit of Alexander Isak? As we all know, both players play on the left side of the front line, but whilst Isak is very much an out-and-out striker, Barcola can also play on either wing and even in central midfield. Now, Barcola is only 22 years old, but he is already a full international, having made his debut back in March 2023. He was part of the squad that won the Under-21 European Championship this summer, scoring 3 goals in 5 games, including the winning goal in the final against England. He started the season as a regular for PSG, making 17 appearances in all competitions and scoring for goals. But as the report states, game time became harder to come by following the arrival of new wingers Desired Doué and, more importantly, Kvaratskhelia, who plays in the same position as Barcola. And that is probably why there is talk that PSG might want to cash in on the Frenchman while they can. It looks like Liverpool could be the ones to benefit from that as they consider a move for the 22-year-old. Of course, Barcola isn't the only other target that Liverpool are considering. The report states that other forwards are also on the list, but interestingly, 2 of those forwards are now said to be Real Madrid's Rodrygo and PSG's Barcola. However, it is worth noting that Liverpool were also heavily linked with a move for both of these players last summer, although ultimately neither of them moved to Anfield. It remains to be seen whether Liverpool will make an official approach for Barcola. But it is possible that they could test PSG's resolve with a bid in the next few weeks. As I stated earlier, it looks like Liverpool may need to look elsewhere as the asking price of Isak is far more than what they are willing to pay. And if that is the case, then Barcola is certainly one of the top targets to replace him. So, it looks like the saga of Alexander Isak might not be over just yet. Even though there's been a lot of talk that he's going to be joining Liverpool, it looks like Newcastle are standing firm on their asking price, and they're not letting him go for anything less than what they think he is worth. And that could lead to Liverpool looking elsewhere, such as Bradley Barcola. Now, I have to say that as an alternative, I think he's actually a really good choice. He's only 22 years old, so he's only gonna get better. He's already got loads of experience playing in the Champions League and for a top team in Paris Saint-Germain. And the fact that he can play across the front line as well as in central midfield makes him a very useful squad player to have. Of course, he wouldn't be the out-and-out striker that Isak is, but he can play across the front line and he can also play in central midfield. So, he offers a bit more versatility than some of the other attacking options that Liverpool have. Now, I don't think Liverpool should just give up on Isak completely. If they can agree a fee with Newcastle, I think they should do that. But if not, then Barcola is definitely one of the top alternatives that they could look at. And I think he's someone who could really fit into this Liverpool side. Of course, the question marks over his current form and his lack of game time at PSG is a big one. But I think Liverpool could offer him something that he's not getting right now, which is regular first-team football. And if they could do that, then I think he could be a really good signing. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the coming weeks. But it looks like Liverpool are considering all of their options and Barcola is certainly one of those. Now, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Would you prefer Liverpool to stick with the pursuit of Isak, or would you be happy to see them bring in Bradley Barcola instead? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, we've got one last video on the screen for you now, and it's one that you're really gonna want to watch. You don't want to miss a thing in the world of Liverpool FC, so make sure you stay tuned so you don't miss a single update. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.